My fellow Americans, I call this the coming police state. A police state is one in which the government exercises rigid and repressive controls over the social, economic, and political life of the population. A police state typically exhibits elements of a dictatorship. The laws that protect life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness are disregarded in a police state, and life becomes a living hell for everybody. Everybody lives in fear, and everybody turns against his neighbor or her neighbor. The inhabitants of a police state experience restrictions on their mobility. They can't move where they want. Their ability to move around freely is curtailed, and their freedom to express or communicate political and other views, which are subject to police monitoring and enforcement. Political control may be exerted by means of checkpoints and a secret police force which operates outside the boundaries normally imposed by a constitutional state. My fellow Americans, I am so sorry to be saying this today, but things are moving quicker than I thought. I am deeply concerned about America becoming a police state. Let me explain my reasoning. Listen to me and see what you think. Whether you agree with the Occupy Wall Street movement or not, the movement has shown that there is a great deal of dissatisfaction in America, a lot of anger regarding the economic conditions and social conditions of our people. The American people are hurting. Their homes have been foreclosed. They can't get jobs, and they're sinking into poverty. Economic conditions determine how people live and treat each other. For example, if there are no jobs in a certain area, people will pick up and move to another area. That shows you the power of economics. They'll leave their mothers and fathers and their neighbors and everything, and they've got to move. Perhaps some of you have seen the movie Grapes of Wrath. It is an excellent example of how people have had to keep moving to where there are jobs. Poor economic conditions can make people turn violent. If a father can't feed his family and he can't get a job, he may be driven to do things that he would never do under ordinary circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, we're reaching that point in America, and it's moving quickly. That's why I'm making this speech now. Things are moving very fast, and it's important that I make this speech. Families are being forced to live together, which can cause great stress when they have to live together. Look, the Occupy Wall Street movement identified a group they called it the 1%. That is, those 1% make up only 1% of America's population, but they control about 99% of our nation's wealth. That's what the Occupy Wall Street was angry at. They are billionaires, and they have more money than any of us can imagine. This money buys them great power over our government, especially over our government. The 1% realizes that there is a gap. They realize this gap. The Occupy Wall Street movement has pointed this out to the American people. The Occupy movement has shown that they saw how enraged the people were. That 1% has seen this rage, and they're scared. Since they control the government, now this is my point, ladies and gentlemen, they will want to turn America into a police state, which I described before, which they feel will protect them. They see this rage gathering in America, and they're scared. They may even create an incident that looks like terrorism, so that their formation of a police state will seem legitimate. Oh, they'll say, we have to impose this. Terrorists are coming. Under any circumstance, ladies and gentlemen, we must never let this happen. And under any circumstance, the army and the police must never become the attack dogs of this 1% and turn us, and they must never turn against the American people, the army and the police. I hope this warning will make the American people aware that a police state is coming. It's coming. You may not see it, but it's there. It's gathering. And we'll never allow a police state to form. We must never allow a police state to form in America, because it is coming. And I hope that you will visit treasonagainst.america.org often. I will be writing a continuous blog that I call Truth Seeker. Together we can talk and confer and track the coming police state. It's coming. It is when we become lazy and complacent that the police state can overtake us. Please don't wait until it's too late. You may not see it out there on the street, but it's coming. It has to come. These people are scared and they have to make it happen. I can't tell you exactly when, but we must be ready and we must be prepared. We must not let this happen or life will become a living hell here. Don't wait until the police state is on you. Then it will be too late. Begin to act now. Look, contact us. This is what I do. This is what I'm aware of. I think I can track the police state. If you keep in touch with me and keep in touch with treasonagainstamerica.org, together, and we'll talk. We must not let a police state take over in America. I mean, it seems so hard to talk about it, but I feel it's coming sooner than we think. And by the way, it can come on you in 5 seconds. I want to tell you one thing before I get off. I was driving through Jacksonville one day, this is about 4 years ago, and I saw the Army putting parachutes down on the bridges, parachutes down on the tops of buildings. They're preparing for this. They know that the American people are getting angry and getting dissatisfied. Stay with treasonagainstamerica.org. Let's stay together. I want to watch it. You keep in touch. You'll make your position. When you see things happen, let's share it all. Let's become a team and let's get this done. We must not let this happen in America. You just don't know how bad things can be if we do that. Okay, so let's fight against it no matter what.